We live in a world where silence has become rare. Everyone is talking, posting, explaining their lives to strangers online. People share their relationships, their pain, their goals, their private thoughts, and somehow, despite being more connected than ever, so many people feel emotionally exhausted because not everything in life is meant to be public. There is a strange pressure in modern society, a pressure to constantly update the world, to prove happiness, to prove success, to prove that your life matters. But the more people expose their personal lives, the more vulnerable they become to judgment, negativity, and unnecessary noise. Not everyone watching you supports you. Some people are curious, not caring. Some people listen not to understand, but to gossip. And some people quietly wait for your weakest moments. That is why privacy has become a form of power. Real power is not always loud. Sometimes, real power is protecting your peace, protecting your energy, protecting the parts of your life that deserve silence instead of attention. As people grow older, they begin realizing something important. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every achievement needs to be announced. Not every emotion needs to be explained, because peace grows in privacy. The strongest people are often the quietest. They move differently. They build in silence, heal in silence, win in silence. Not because they are hiding, but because they understand that constant exposure can destroy inner peace. In a noisy world, filled with opinions, comparison, and attention-seeking, privacy becomes protection. And sometimes, the less people know about your life, the more peaceful your life becomes. One of the hardest lessons in life is realizing this. Not everyone who asks about your life truly cares about you. Some people are supportive. Some people are genuine. But others are simply curious. They ask questions, not because they want to help, but because they want information. And the dangerous part is this: many people reveal too much before understanding who they are talking to. They share personal struggles too quickly. They expose their weaknesses too openly. They trust people simply because those people seemed kind in the moment. But not everyone deserves access to your private world. As you grow older, you begin noticing something painful. Sometimes, the same people who listen to your problems later use those problems against you. Sometimes, the same people you trusted with your secrets become the people discussing your life behind your back. That is why privacy matters. Not because you should fear people, but because wisdom teaches caution. There are some battles better fought quietly, some dreams better protected silently, some emotions better shared only with the right people. Oversharing can make you emotionally vulnerable. The more people know about your fears, failures, and insecurities, the easier it becomes for judgment, gossip, or manipulation to enter your life. And unfortunately, not everyone wants to see you succeed. Some people secretly enjoy seeing others struggle. Some compare themselves to you constantly. Some wait for your downfall just to feel better about their own lives. That is reality. This is why emotionally mature people become more selective with what they share. They understand that silence is not weakness. Silence is protection. You do not need to explain every decision. You do not need to announce every goal. You do not need everyone to understand your journey, because the more private your life becomes, the more peaceful your mind often becomes too. True wisdom is knowing the difference between connection and exposure. You can still love people, trust people, build relationships, but you must also protect your inner world, because once personal information leaves your mouth, you can never fully control where it goes afterward. And sometimes protecting your peace begins with learning how to stay quiet about the things that matter most. One of the biggest reasons people lose their peace today is because too many people have access to their lives. Too many opinions, too many judgments, too much noise entering the mind every single day. And slowly, without realizing it, people begin living based on how others see them instead of how they truly feel inside. That is exhausting. When you constantly share your life with the world, you also invite the world's energy into your mind. Every decision becomes open for discussion. Every mistake becomes visible. Every personal moment becomes something people feel entitled to comment on. And over time, that pressure affects your mental health more than you realize. You start overthinking. You begin wondering, what will people think? Will they approve? Will they judge me? Will they still like me if I change? That is how people slowly lose themselves. Not because they are weak, but because constant exposure creates emotional pressure. This is why privacy is deeply connected to inner peace. People who protect their private lives often appear calmer. They move differently. They are less involved in drama, less affected by online negativity, less dependent on validation from strangers, because their happiness is not constantly being placed in public hands. There is something powerful about keeping certain parts of your life sacred: your goals, your healing process, your relationships, your next move. Not everything beautiful needs an audience. In fact, many things grow better in silence. A seed grows underground before becoming a tree. And human growth often works the same way. Sometimes the reason your energy feels heavy is because too many people are involved in your personal space, mentally and emotionally. Too many opinions, too many explanations, too much pressure to perform a perfect life. But peace begins returning the moment you stop explaining yourself to everyone. You realize you do not owe the world constant updates. You do not need approval to change your life. You do not need permission to protect your boundaries. You do not need attention to prove your worth. And the less you seek validation, the freer you become emotionally. That freedom is rare today because modern culture rewards exposure. People are taught to show everything, every emotion, every achievement, every relationship. But exposure and connection are not the same thing. A person can share everything online and still feel deeply empty inside. Meanwhile, someone living quietly may feel far more fulfilled and emotionally stable, because peace is not found in attention. It is found in balance, in protecting your energy, in choosing carefully who gets access to your mind and heart. And sometimes, the healthiest thing you can do for your mental well-being is this: stop giving the world unlimited access to your personal life. Because not everyone deserves your energy, and not every part of your life needs to be seen to be meaningful. As people mature, they begin becoming quieter, not because they have nothing to say, but because they finally understand the value of silence. Truly strong people rarely feel the need to prove themselves constantly. They do not announce every plan. They do not seek attention for every achievement. They do not build their identity around public approval. Instead, they focus their energy on growth quietly. There is a reason many successful people move in silence, because they understand that real progress does not need an audience. The loudest people in the room are not always the strongest. Sometimes the strongest person is the one working quietly while everyone else is distracted trying to be seen. Strong people protect their focus. They know that too much talking can weaken discipline. Too much attention can attract negativity, and too much exposure can create pressure that damages peace of mind. That is why emotionally mature people become more private over time. Not secretive, just selective. Selective with their energy, selective with their circle, selective with what they reveal to the world. Because experience teaches them something important. Not every person clapping for you truly supports you. Some people celebrate your success publicly while secretly envying you privately. And some people only stay close to gather information about your life. This is why wise people learn to separate kindness from trust. They remain respectful, but careful, open-hearted, but not fully exposed. And honestly, there is something powerful about becoming less available to unnecessary noise. You think more clearly. You move more calmly. You stop feeling the need to explain yourself constantly. That peace changes a person. Because once you stop chasing attention, you begin focusing on purpose. You stop trying to impress everyone and start building a life that genuinely fulfills you, quietly, without needing applause, without needing the world to watch every step. Because at a certain point in life, people realize this. Privacy is not hiding. Privacy is self-respect. And sometimes, the strongest thing a person can do is protect their life so carefully that only the right people gain access to it. And then, there comes a moment in life when you finally understand why privacy matters so much. Usually, that lesson comes through pain. Maybe you trusted the wrong people. Maybe you shared your dreams too early. Maybe you revealed your wounds to people who later used them against you. And suddenly, you realize not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Because some people will listen to your struggles, then speak about them behind your back. Some people will celebrate your goals publicly, but secretly hope you fail. And some people only stay close because your openness gives them power over your emotions. That realization changes you. You stop telling everyone everything. You stop explaining your every move. Stop announcing every plan. Stop seeking understanding from people who were never truly listening in the first place. And slowly, your life becomes quieter, but also more peaceful. There is something deeply powerful about becoming emotionally unavailable to unnecessary noise. You stop reacting to every opinion. You stop feeling pressured to defend yourself constantly. You stop needing the world to approve your existence. And for the first time in a long time, you begin breathing freely again. Because peace grows when privacy grows. Many people lose their energy, not because life is hard, but because too many people have access to their mind, emotions, and personal business. Too many voices, too many judgments, too many unnecessary explanations. But when you finally learn to protect your private life, everything changes. Your goals become clearer. Your mind becomes calmer. Your relationships become more genuine. Because real connections do not require constant exposure. And honestly, some of the most beautiful things in life grow best in silence. Love, healing, discipline, success. Not everything needs to be displayed to be real. Not everything meaningful needs an audience. And maybe true maturity begins the moment you realize this. You do not owe everyone access to your story. Some chapters are meant to stay private. Some battles are meant to be fought quietly. Some transformations are meant to happen away from the noise of the world. Because in a world addicted to attention, the ability to protect your peace becomes a rare form of power. And sometimes, the less people know about you, the stronger you become inside. In the end, privacy is not about hiding from the world. It is about protecting your peace from the world. Not everyone needs access to your thoughts, your pain, your relationships, your dreams. Some things become more valuable when they are protected quietly instead of displayed publicly. As life moves forward, you begin understanding that peace is expensive. And one of the fastest ways to lose peace is allowing too many people into your personal space emotionally. Too many opinions create confusion. Too much exposure creates pressure. Too much explanation drains your energy. That is why mature people become more selective, not colder, not arrogant, just wiser. They stop telling everyone everything. They stop seeking validation from strangers. They stop feeling the need to prove their life online. And because of that, their mind becomes calmer. Their circle becomes smaller but more genuine. Their happiness becomes more real. Their life becomes more peaceful. Because true confidence is quiet. It does not beg for attention. It does not need constant approval. It simply exists with calmness and self-respect. So, protect your energy carefully. Protect your goals. Protect your healing. Protect the parts of your soul that deserve silence instead of noise. Because not everyone deserves access to your inner world. And sometimes, the strongest thing you can do in a loud world is remain private, peaceful, and emotionally grounded while everyone else is fighting for attention. Because in the end, a peaceful life is not built through constant exposure. It is built through boundaries, through wisdom, and through learning that some of the most powerful things in life grow beautifully in silence.